Howdy, and welcome to another installment of AIRAID TV. Now, usually we're talking about really cool stuff like muscle cars and big trucks and things like that, but to be honest with you, most of us drive regular old everyday vehicles, but that's not to say they still can't benefit from the AIRAID treatment. So today, we're going to be talking about the 2011 to 2013 Dodge Durango. Now, this kit's also going to fit the 2011 to 2013 Jeep Grand Cherokee WK. Now, let's see what this AIRAID kit includes. We have a premium AIRAID filter available in either an oiled or a dry version, cold air dam panels, some weather stripping, a little bit of tubing, a bracket, hardware pack, and complete installation instructions. And when you're all done, if you've done it correctly, it should look something just like this. Pretty straightforward stuff, really. Now, let's pop the hood on this bad boy and see what we're dealing with. Now, the Dodge Durango and Jeep Grand Cherokee are available with either the 3.6-liter V6 engine like this one here, or the 5.7-liter Hemi V8. Now, both of those are great engines, and even better, this AIRAID system will work with either motor. So the basic plan of attack here is to replace the restrictive factory intake box with the AIRAID Cold Air Intake system. In order to do that, of course, we got to get some of this stuff out of the way. First, disconnect the battery. Then, remove the engine cover. Loosen the clamp for the upper intake tube. Then remove the upper half of the factory intake box, followed by the filter. Then, wrestle the lower half of the factory intake box out. And with the factory stuff off the car, we can focus on assembling the cold air dam panels using the supplied hardware. You can see we've also attached our bracket and this supplied rubber snubber. Now, this little grommet here, this came out of the original intake box, and this needs to be reused. It pops right into this hole right here. You'll also notice that we're going to be reusing the factory cold air scoop. We simply pried this off of the original box, and it is going to install just like so. Once we have this stuff together, it's ready to go in the car. The cold air dam assembly installs right in the place of the factory intake. Now, it might take a little finagling to get it into place, but it should fit nice and snug once it's properly positioned. Secure the assembly using the factory bolt that holds the power steering reservoir in place. Then, attach the intake tube and tighten. With the cold air dam panels in place, we're just down to the little details. Now, one of the differences between the V6 to the V8 versions in terms of the intake system is what to do with this factory breather hose here. Now, in the case of the V6, we're going to replace this straight with the supplied 90. Now, on the V8 models, we supply this piece of hose which replaces the factory breather hose entirely. Now, both of them attach right over here. Let's see. Now, you might be wondering about this weather stripping here. Well, basically, we're using the bottom of the hood like a lid for our cold air box. When the hood's shut, this weather stripping is going to keep the hot engine compartment air isolated from the air filter. And speaking of, it's the last step in the process, just to install our air filter. Then, hook up the battery, see how this thing sounds. Well, honestly, there wasn't a real big sound difference with this kit as compared to stock, and I think that mostly has to do with the fact that it retains the factory intake tube. However, this thing is definitely getting more air. Well, I hope you enjoyed this overview of our Durango and Grand Cherokee kit, and I hope you'll choose AIRAID the next time you want to wake up your daily driver.